Welcome, my name is Richard and today we are at our own HRC event hosted here at the NAC Natural Airsoft Center here in Geldermalsen in the Netherlands. Today we're going to check out one of the amazing builds I haven't seen. It's a replica of the Dutch service rifle. Tell me about it. How did it came to be and what was your passion about?
Well, I used to serve in the Dutch Army before they introduced this one. But I always had the affinity with the Dutch Army and also the weapons they used. So I wanted to do something different instead of a normal M4 or something else. So I investigated if it was possible to build these kind of rifles.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, nobody did it. And I wanted to. So I went to the National Military Museum, started out taking pictures, measurements, and started out with developing a rail that looks a lot like the original one. After some fiddling and mistakes, you know the drill, we came to this model and we started to put everything back together. And this is the result.
It's a very gorgeous looking rifle.
Yeah.
Myself, I've shot it too because I'm military too.
Yeah. You're not the only one. I did also.
Yeah, he's in service. Well, used to be in service.
Yeah.
If you can see for the audience, it's like hardly. It's very hard to see any difference between the real deal and this GBB.
Yeah.
You said it was based on a WE system, right?
Yeah, it is based on a WE system because it's a nice rifle. You can get a lot of parts from it, also upgrade parts. And if something breaks, most dealers can source the parts for you. Cool. You won't be in trouble getting parts. Mm-hmm. And that's why I started out with a WE. But you can build it on almost any rifle.
How much time did you spend on it?
This one took 1.5 years.
It's not too bad actually. If you can think, some projects take way longer. So 1.5 years for just this one.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable.
Yeah. The most difficult parts were to source the handguards and the front rail because these parts are proprietary.
Yeah.
So you have to find somebody who has them and then copy the design.
Cool.
Otherwise, it's not possible. For this, you can measure everything and you take pictures and then you start with a basic and you develop it from there. But the handguards, it was a whole different thing.
And I noticed you have more copies of other platforms like the older.
Yeah, that's the old Diamaco C8A1.
Diamaco C8A1.
Yeah.
With the Elcon.
With the Elcon scope, yeah, exactly. And this one was used, or this model was used by the core commandos from the Dutch Army.
Dutch Army.
It's also got the markings on the lower receiver.
C8, I'm going to add C8. You can see the markings over there. Oh, there we go.
That one is also based on a WE.
Also W. And was it easier to make or just...
It's a lot easier, yes, because you don't have the special rail, but just normal slimline handguards.
Yeah, right.
So that's easy. If you're lucky, you can find an Elcon scope. The buttstock, that's rather easy. Handguards, a little bit more difficult. The sling you can still buy, luckily. The only thing that was more difficult was to find a receiver with the correct engravings.
Cool.
But I let that done by the supplier of the lower receiver.
And you told me about it's W based. Are there people able to get other platforms like TM?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can build it on TM. You can build it on TFC. Also GHK. Yeah, not a problem. If it is an AEG, sorry. Or gas blowback, doesn't matter. Tippmann is also a possibility to build.
This one, right?
Yeah, that one. Right. Yeah, that's a Tippmann. Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
So almost every platform except Classic Army.
Classic Army. Why not?
Because the measurement of the receiver, the upper receiver is higher than the normal rail is. So this one you can build, but this one can't because this one is an exact copy as the original, and that's flush with the receiver.
Cool.
And Classic Army is higher, so that's not possible.
All right. Okay. Roy, I want to say thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And They have a Facebook group called Colt NLD Owners Group.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly,
right.
on Facebook, yeah.
And if you want to have more questions, just search that and you will find it. I'll
Yeah.
also put the link in the description below.
Just contact me on the Facebook page and I will explain how, where, and how you can build a rifle if you want to.
Okay. All right, stay tuned and see you next time.
Have a nice day.